Hello. So today, this is a report mystery solving workshop. And after this workshop, you will be certified detectives to resolve mysteries. So it's briefing for you from my side, because in eazyBI support, we are great detectives to solve the mysteries. Sometimes it takes 1 minute, and sometimes it takes whole day. But at the end, there is solution, and it's very gratifying feeling about it. This will be a long session, so I will try to change some ways how we interact. I won't talk all the time. I encourage you to open eazyBI community. There is already my presentation, my workshop, written down step by step. There's also links to all the reports I'm going to show you, so you can work along with me. And during this session, there will be talking from my side, many examples. There will be also do-along exercises and a couple of game quizzes with some prizes as well. So I encourage you to follow along. So, as I say, we are great detectives, and all great detectives have a method. They are not just good guessers or magicians. Some use deductions, some psychological profiling. We also have our methods, and I will share it. It's quite simple, 4 steps. So the first one is to ensure that you have a data. After all, if there's no data, there's nothing to build upon. You have the right measure. The measure is the treasure. And the third one and fourth one is more creative parts about filtering, what you have put in, what context you have brought in the report. Those might take longer time, therefore they're the last ones. The first 2 are quite quick to check. We will go through all 4 of them during the course of today. So let's start with data import. Is your data imported? So as I said, it's no use to build a report and expect something to show up if it's not there. It just doesn't work that way. And eazyBI is not a real-time tool, so this should be kept in the mind, that it won't be so great for operational analytics to see, is my SLA is running now at 1 minute late or something like that. There is some gap while the data are refreshed in eazyBI. So when looking at your report and not seeing something, please check whether the data are imported, when they were imported. And that can be done by anyone. Anyone who opens the report will see there's an icon with information. It's even in Jira dashboard. Those who have more access role to eazyBI and build reports also can check when the data was imported for the last time. And those who have data admin role or are owners, they can see even more. They can see the status when they were imported, and if they were not imported successfully, whether there was some problem. So it's easy to check for everyone. It takes a couple of seconds to see whether your data are refreshed and you may expect them there. In case of the trouble, something went wrong, there's also an option to understand why it's not there. What went wrong? The eazyBI is writing error messages, and we are writing them because we want someone to read them. Otherwise, there's no purpose for that. Some are more nicely written, some are less nicely written, but please read them. Please read them and at least try to understand something. If not, of course, write to us. We will explain you in more human language than it is. But for example, this is one of the most common messages, and still we receive emails, that the Jira user who authorized the data import initially probably created the account, is not active anymore, probably left the company or changed the project. So there's even a link and button to what to do, reset authorization. The next one is, this is the name where you can see who is the authorized user. The next one is about authorization of other apps. In case of Jira, there's also many integrations with Zephyr, Tempo, Jenkins, and X-ray, and there might be situations that this authorization has timed out, or the 30-day period passed for API keys. So also, again, there's written the message. It's simple to fix. Next one is, there will be 4 more examples of error messages, so you just get vibe, and then I will drop the topic. The next common error message is about custom fields. Again, from the Jira world, but in eazyBI, every building block should have unique name. Every dimension, every metric should have unique name. But sometimes there are some couple custom fields that have the same name. I don't know how you managed to make them. I can't, but in that case, we will throw some error. So there are options how to fix it, either unselect one or rename it, but still, it's easy to search by the name you see in the error message. We are showing also warnings, not only error messages. So warnings means that the import will go on, but some data might be off. And quite common problem is about interesting dates, 2 millennia ago. This usually comes for not so good user interface, and you can enter the year, just showing the last 2 numbers of the year, and then it's kind of automatically reduces to just year 24 instead of 2024. In that case, if there's bad data, either you go along with this and expect that something will be off, or you can fix this in the source system. And the last one, we can combine them. Errors and warnings. What I encourage to do is act upon the error first, and then deal with the warnings. So errors are more critical than the warnings. I won't go into details what about individual, but if there is warning with individual issues, they are always listed here, so you can find them in the source system and fix the data. Besides the errors that may happen during import, there are 4 main areas we always check. We always check whether the user has access to the data you expect to see, whether the needed projects are selected, do you have the needed data imported, because it's a good advice to import only what you need, other too much makes a bit chaotic environment. Double check that you have them imported and also in the right format. If you expect it to behave for historical analytics, make sure this is imported also as changed values. And the last one is JQL queries. There are options how to limit what you import in eazyBI. This is also takes only a minute or 2 to check in the source data, and therefore it's a good start to troubleshoot your report, to be sure that the ground, the foundation for your report is good. So this is one of emails we receive once in a while. I believe that you also have heard such questions from your customers or your colleagues. We didn't do anything, but, and if you didn't do anything, usually means someone did something, or you or someone did something somewhere else. So there is a longer chain. And we have a good tool for a year, how to check it. So you don't need to put your colleagues in a room or interrogate them or be very suspicious about the latest release eazyBI did. You can find answers in Audit log. So what Audit log has, it has information on changed import options. Probably somebody deselected some project, or changed authorized user with less access rights, or deselected your custom field. You will see it here. Oh, there's also option to filter by specific account name or by action. There is source application actions. You will see all the changes, all the deletions. So here you go. The second is report changes in reports. So if you have or your colleague have made changes, it will appear here. There's also a nice button, meaning that you can restore this version if it was working for you. And the last one is changes in calculations. This is the most tricky one because if someone is using report and they figure out a better way how to do it, they go change some formulas or something, and it works for them, and they are happy. But if it's a shared metric, they don't know about or didn't consider that it might affect other people's work. So here's an option to copy your previous formula that worked for you, and you can make your own. In conclusion, we see all the changes that may affect your report, starting from import options to the report changes in report and also changes in the calculations. So we covered the first step, and now the practice round. We will play game 2 times. This is the first one. So please scan the QR code. I will then launch the game. You will enter the PIN to access the game. And then there's a good opportunity for you to write the nickname you always wanted to use in public space. So better keep right answers because I have little presents for top 3. So I need to run my quiz. Let's host live. We will do it. Okay. It will come. Oh, it's generated. So if you drop out from it, the PIN code will be visible all the time at the bottom, somewhere here. So you can join back at any time. So yeah. Okay. I haven't tested this quiz with more than 8 people, so I feel overwhelmed. To win prizes. Yeah, you can. You are not. eazyBI support is not allowed to participate.
Only developers and marketing?
Yeah, only developers and marketing and the rest of the eazyBI community. So, 35. Okay. Let's go. Then this. Oh no, they're still joining. Okay. I believe it's. Oh, okay. Kahoot. So, eazyBI has the same data as Jira, true or false? What does it count? Ah, yeah. So, let's go. Yeah, after each question, you will see how good are you doing. So, mind the gap. It's not real-time tool, but I understand that in this type of question game, it's also how well you pay attention to the question. This is a real-time tool, yeah. Who can see when data was imported last time? Oh, yes, all of them mentioned before. So, let's go, it's doing good. So, yeah, as I mentioned, everyone can see from different points the information. We keep it on every report when it is the last time updated. The next one, we didn't change anything that are just imported. So what to do? So check the audit, interrogate colleagues, find the eazyBI backup, or close and then open report. I think all IT people should go for the close and open report. No one wanted to close and open report. Yes, check the audit. Okay. Someone is really fast. So yeah, the audit, and we can see all three kinds of information. Changes in options, changes in records, and changes in metrics. What is the three-letter code for Riga Airport? I believe part of you were there during this week. Some part was earlier. Oh, some will still remember Las Vegas lax. Cool. LVL is country code. It's not the airport code. So, last question. Data import failed with this error. What to do? We just import data, send logs to eazyBI support, edit import options and authorize tempo, or reset authorization for Jira. Read the message if in doubt. I don't see. Yeah, you read the message. Thank you. I'm pleased to see that. So it's maybe for those who don't use eazyBI on cloud, they don't ask to authorize tempo, but still the meaning is you have to read, and there are keywords telling you what to do. So this was the last question, and our winners is, now I need two helpers. Let's go, no hands, and all three, please. Oliver, all three. I'm glad that at least one of my colleagues managed to be on podium. Even if, no, support is not allowed, so thank you, you did really good. We will do it once more, but it will be later and with more questions. Now we will go back to other steps of how to do the things. Again, now in this part, you will be optioned to act along. So before I go back to, I will open the community post I was talking about. It's an eazyBI community, tips and tricks. So there's my presentation, and we just covered the part of data import. And now there will be part about filters. In this part, you can join along. There are a lot of links to the report, so you can act along with me. So it's not just showing. Both? Yeah, I will. I'm just preparing you for the next part. So let's keep going with the next steps. So this was only step 1. The step 2 is also fundamental because you need the right building blocks to make your report. If you don't have right building blocks, it's hard to build a house. So my favorite phrase is measure is the treasure. So the right metric solves most of your problems and is a good foundation for report. The rest is also just beautifying or making it easier to read or adding some context, but the right metric is what you're striving for. eazyBI generates a lot of metrics, predefined metrics when we import something. And there is some patterns how you can tell about what it does by the name, at least what it counts days or story points or items or something, or money. But it's always in the name of the metric. And also how it acts with the time dimension, whether it's historical or it shows some specific date. But if you're in doubt, at least even a little, go to the documentation. Don't just assume. Assumptions sometimes lead to wrong path. Like doing consultancy, we just assume something wrong like this, but check the source of truth. And we put it in the documentation. Here's also the part about custom fields. We have described the specific pattern, how they are built and how they work with other dimensions. The also interesting part is history, I think. I can't find it here. Change, yeah, this is the right word. So, nothing to add. Those were two first steps. They are kind of quickly to cover. Now the most creative part is filters. So the filters are the things that shape our report. How it looks, what data we are looking at, and there are many ways how to do it. You can add tens of filters to your report. Some are hidden, some are in metrics, some are on pages in different levels. So what we are going to do, and we are going to do through about 6 examples. I will open them in the, which are not working. I will open them in the training account. You can open them as well if you have in this community page, or you can do it later. It's not mandatory today. It will stay there till the end of the eazyBI community as such thing. So we'll start with first use case, illustrating that you have to understand, you have to understand how the metric works and how it works with other dimensions. And sometimes it might hide some information. In this report, this is a sprint velocity chart. I see that something is missing here. It kind of looks at, yeah, we have some committed story points and how many were resolved in each sprint, but the first one, looks like there's no commitment. Doesn't feel right. So I will open this report here. The method, how to troubleshoot, is usually strip filters one by one, take them away, to see whether they are hiding some data or information. In case of page filters, my recommendation is to start by selecting all level members. It's like removing dimension from the report. In the case of projects, okay, I will select all projects. I see there are more sprints appearing, but still there is missing commitment. Doesn't feel right. Our team doesn't work this way. Here is missing commitment. So what I do, I go further and select for the rest also all level sprints. It's already there. All level time. Wow, there's happening something appearing. So it's good to troubleshoot further and understand what it means and what happened. I can, again, narrow down it to the first way as I was selecting only one project. Now I see that they're appearing more than it was previously, so time affects what I see on columns, and it was taken from there off. So maybe I have to review how this metric works. Back to the documentation and see how it works. This is quite common use case that people are putting sprints and times together. So one thing you can take from this use case is that always check at all member level. And the other thing is, if you build a sprint report, use sprints, don't use time, because they are kind of similar, and sometimes people feel like they can change them with places, but actually not. One represents virtual time and another actual time. So if you are looking on sprints, keep to the sprint dimension. Next one is about hierarchies, and again, page filters. So many dimensions have more than one hierarchy. And if you use it in report, you should stick to one. So here's my report. I know that there should be a data. In previous year, there should be. What I start with, I select all times. Nothing happens. my previous method is not working anymore. So what I'm doing, I open the time dimension, and what I can see is that there is more than one all times. Okay? Now I select the other one, and the data start appearing. So what I want to say with that is that if you have the same dimension on rows, columns, and pages, the hierarchies should match. So eazyBI can use them together as pair, and they are not conflicting. On rows, I also have weak hierarchy. On pages, now I have weak hierarchy. And I will take previous year from there. It should make my report something already. Matching hierarchies. Next one is conflicting filters. So we can explore further the dimensions on pages. And again, I would expect some data. It's not like we are doing nothing. There should be at least some data in there. If the user opens the report, he sees that they can select the project. And based on the report name, it's estimated logged hours and version. They want to see the running version. The name matches, unresolved, why not? But some of the information is duplicated in several dimensions to access it from different angles. It also goes for fixed version. If I will select all fixed versions, again, I'm resetting to the all level member, the data are here. But if I want it unresolved, I can see that there are project and only then unresolved. So be aware that sometimes there could be information that may conflict. And in that case, choose only one of those dimensions that are duplicating the options where people can mislead them. In this case, I would delete the project dimension and allow users to just pick the right unresolved version from the right hierarchy. There are other objects that might be duplicating, so it depends on the data model and also on how you have built some custom hierarchies. So this is only one example. Next one is other type of filters. So we can filter data not only by page filters, but also filter report rows, clicking here, and filtering by some name pattern or value. It's very commonly used, actually, in eazyBI reports, because sometimes we don't want to give others to interact with this filter and stay focused on the specific data set. It's also usually used for reports with a lot of rows, and where you can focus around specific attribute. So in this case, this is Epic Link report showing the progress. The Epic Link status is as property because there's no such dimension. And we did the best what we could. We filtered data by this property, and also we filtered by story points created by this column. We filtered report by those two columns. What to do in case of this kind of filters? I would expect more to be there. We remove them. Without any doubt or confusion, we remove them. Don't worry, you can get back with only one click, undo button. Go forth and back. So I removed filter criteria that there should be story points. It didn't change anything. Okay, this is not a problem. I undo the report. Let's go with the next one. Okay, it affects my report, my list. So maybe there was something wrong with my filtering criteria. It depends on what data you have, but you can overview the values in this column. I see that there are something I wanted to filter also by to-do status. I can copy it and make adjustments. There are two filtering criteria. Status to do is written in other case with small d, therefore it didn't work. because filtering by rows is case sensitive. What you can take from there is remove filters one by one. It's not lost. At the time when you remove, you can get back easily with undo. Other thing, those filters are case sensitive. Okay, and then we going to the last duo. The filters, you can filter by pages, you can filter rows, but there's one tricky button, non-empty. We could talk about it a lot and bring out different use cases, and there would be discussions when to use and when not to use. So I will bring out only 2 use cases, and it's not like bad or good. There are situations when you need it and situations when you don't. So this is my report for burn down. Time burn down in the version. And I believe what I have seen on customer dashboards, there are a lot of burn downs. For sprints, for versions, for program increments, for epics, they have their own agendas and projects to work on. But in this case, the burn down guideline is very suggestive. It's not straight. It even doesn't start where I hope to start it. Usually they start at the top of the total amount. So it looks off. And there's not much to change here. This is for specific version. I have selected a specific version. It's built for a specific time. So what is changing it is non-empty option. If I switch it off, my guideline is rhythmical, and it starts where it's supposed to start. In a table view, it's also visible. While I have enabled non-empty, the guideline starts with 120, there's 135. It's not the same. But if I switch it off, my timeline starts earlier, and those 2 matches. So what non-empty does, it hides irrelevant rows. There is no activity happened. And in case of time, there's usually no activity on Saturdays and Sundays and 1st of January. So it would be kind of weird to drop them out of your guideline, because guideline is straight line and assumes that time is without interruptions. So in case of any timelines or future prediction reports, our suggestion is to keep this non-empty switched off, so you would get accurate data calculated for each of the dates and also accurate representation. And the opposite to this non-empty is when it's good to switch it on. Because there could also has been some emails from customers. They are saying, it doesn't respond. It's not working. It worked, but it's not working. And I changed the project. I changed the status. I have the same list of issues as was before. Some may say add the measures, so there's a context. But also metric could be empty. So there's a lot of properties describing all items on the rows. So what we can do, in this case, you can also start, and I would suggest to start by resetting all to all level members to see whether they affect your report or not. It's not, so let's try to make it so it responds. In this case, there's also non-empty option. It's good test to switch it on and off to see whether it changes the data. Hey, it's changed the list. I will try to change the project. There's project starting with DB, beta. I will change to alpha. Okay, the list is responding now. So what it did, this non-empty, in this case, it's allowed to focus on relevant data, only on those rows where there's actual metrics in there. So in this case, it's good to have it. Usually, you wouldn't have to think much about the non-empty button because eazyBI tries its best to apply it when it's needed. It's just something to be aware of if something goes wrong as you not expected. So now we will do another approach. One approach is to test your report and strip down it of filters one by one. Now I will show you, and I would be happy if you will participate with me as well. Other method is qualitative analysis of a single item without any filters. Again, it's like you can see the data as they are in eazyBI without filters applied, but we are humans, we can't follow hundreds of issues or hundreds of other objects. We can follow one, more or less. So this is method we sometimes also write to our customers to send in data. Find one ticket, put it in search and bookmark it, build for it report, then pick metrics and properties we want to troubleshoot. If you need, you can add other dimensions on rows. Don't use page filters, no. Everything should be visible, no filters. And if needed, in extreme scenarios, also check on any property it has in eazyBI. So I will do it on the screen, but you can do the same also on your laptop if you have opened a community post. We will look on the historical data and status changes for a specific issue, DI 118, and see how it's changed during the time of the period. So, let me open the this one. This usually starts with a blank report. There's nothing there, so no filters, so there's nothing to prepare. What I do, I open the issue dimension. There is nice option to search and bookmark specific items. I will select it from the default hierarchy, but the use case might change. I will hide. So I have it one here. I will make it shorter so all the information fits in. So what I can do, I encourage to put metrics and properties on report columns. So the information available will be visible on columns. I usually pick issues created resolved because they are very crucial metrics in eazyBI. We are building a lot of other information based on those. I will also look on hours spent. So what we have, we already know. From this, I already know that this issue was created, of course. It also is resolved, and somebody has logged 9 hours. But how it was, what was its journey during the lifetime, I don't know it yet at this point. I can also, to check on some attributes of the issue, I can pick any of the properties. One is I can pick creation date and resolution date, and also last update date. It already provides me more information when and what happened. I can see when it was created, January 23, and it was resolved after a couple of months on the March. Okay, those are nice pieces of information, but doesn't tell much about its life cycle. Also, last updated date was after it was resolved. I will remove the properties because they are descriptive information and will add the noise. In our case, I said I wanted to know how it was transitioning through all the statuses over its life cycle. So I have measured transition to status. Transition to status. There's something to choose from. I will also pick the metric with the date. Now I know that it changed the status 7 times. And the next smart thing is to put the time dimension or other perspective you want to follow on the rows. So you would see in sequence and choose the lowest level of hierarchy. In my case, day. So it will show me the flow of data. Issues created is only on the first line because it's created then. It won't show any data later. Issues resolved on the date when it's resolved. This is expected behavior. And transition to status will mark the specific dates when it happened. Also, the same goes with hours spent. We will see on specific dates when hours were logged. We can also, for those, we can check in detail who did it and if it really was a date we are seeing there. You can go even further. You probably, if you want to know what transitions there happened to, you can add, again, one more dimension to go into more detail. And I encourage, in this case, again, put it on rows, not to drill into or put on pages, but put on rows so you could see the whole picture. My dimension is transitions. Dun, dun, dun. Again, I'm selecting the lowest hierarchy level to see the details. And I will hide empty rows so I would see what happened. So now I have a nice change log of status changes for one single issue. And also some timestamps when it happened. This is one way how to look on the data and troubleshoot. Sometimes it highlights that you see that there's nothing now metric here, and it indicates that your report you are troubleshooting also couldn't show the data. So we are covered the third part, which is no filters. So there are two methods how to do it. One is to remove filters from the report, one by one, selecting all level members or removing the filter. Don't worry, you can always use undo button. And another option is, or it could be additional option, is to do qualitative troubleshooting of one single item. So when it is done, it's the last part. Most of you won't get to this, and it's done only if you have created any custom calculations. If not, so you can skip it. You should be already figured out what happened and why the report is not working as expected. But in case of custom calculations, it would require a separate session and more than 1.5 hours. So you can start by participating in the next session by Guido. He will tell you how to read those error messages. They also are written for a reason. And there are already 2 talks by me and my colleague Lauma. We did it a couple of years ago in eazyBI Community Days and giving you some good options how to split in and dissect every metric you see. So this is my conclusion slide. So there's nothing more I want to add. If you don't remember anything from what I told you, maybe this is something you could take with you. Start with data import. This is the fastest way to check, sometimes just a second to see when the last import happened. Sometimes it takes a bit longer if there are any errors during the import. Second is verify that you have the right metric, or maybe you don't have any, then there's trouble. Fix that, choose the right metric for your report. And when it's covered, then you can go and be more creative and debug the filters which are shaping your report. If you don't understand whether the filter affects your report, set it to all level member, so it won't affect data, and remove row filters one by one. And in case of calculated measures, that's already another step. That means that you are already troubleshooting something much bigger and more complex. In those cases, very often you will use the option with troubleshooting them on a single item. So we did very fast this one. Before we go to game, do you have any questions for? I won't speak much afterwards. After the game, we won't do the much talking.
I have one comment.
One comment.
Yeah, because I'm sprint nerd. And I won't say that you cannot use sprint metrics with time. And you can use time also instead of sprints, but knowing what you do. So in this example, Zane showed you, and you were curious why some metrics from the sprint appeared in the report and some not. Always remember that each metric and even sprint scope metrics are related to time. And sprint committed story points and sprint issues committed, they are related to the sprint committed date. And sprint story points completed, sprint issues completed are related to sprint completion date. And if the sprint starts in the previous period, of course, if you use time in the pages, then this metric won't appear because it was fixed or it was registered in the other time period. So you can use time dimension with sprint metrics, but remember that each sprint metric relates to time by different date. And yeah, just use it with your mind. And we have also read documentation. There is written how they are related to time. And we also have some examples in our demonstration account where we have recreated those sprint reports using time dimension instead of sprints.
But that's more advanced options already.
Of course, those are advanced options, but I just wanted to add that you can use complex filters, you can use that, but be aware of consequences.
Be aware of consequences. But yeah. Is there any? Yeah.
I have one comment regarding the first part and about the first part before the first game. There was this error regarding duplicated custom field names. There is a feature request from me, please. Just please add the ID close to the custom field names, maybe? Because recently what I did, I just analyzed the HTML for the source code for the page, and I checked the custom field IDs and then compared the custom field IDs from the list of custom fields. This one? Oh, this one. Yeah. Cannot import custom fields with the display name.
You want to IDs here?
Not here, but in the list of the custom fields, where you...
we are coming up with new features that you can search custom field by ID. It's already here.
Yeah, but actually, that's a hidden feature. That's if you hover in the import options.
I will show it.
I think I did hover over it, but
okay,
maybe.
I will show what Raymond is talking about. So, there's a lot of something I don't have.
Also, we will. It's already in a review process.
For example,
feature that you will already.
Oh, it's here. Maybe
it's
I didn't.
Here,
I didn't wait long enough.
But,
so.
but also, it's it's
solved.
And also
there will be a feature that you will not be able to select custom fields and duplicate names already in the import options. There will be an error. You will not need to wait till the import to see this error.
Perfect. Thank you.
So yeah, we try to make it easier also for you and us, so you can solve it without.
Oh, we have not.
It's too much steps. But now it said that you can edit, and the ID is also visible here. So we are not hiding it, but we are also not advertising it.
More questions? More questions? No?
Okay. Then we will do our final...
Sorry.
Oh, no, we have. It's nice.
Can we go back to this single issue report? I also wanted to add some comments.
Okay, let's go to single issue report. Check this. Yes. Yeah. There I have a different issue, but this doesn't matter.
This doesn't matter, yeah. And
Doesn't
you
matter.
made this step when you added transition status to the to transition to transitions, yeah.
Not the status.
And, yeah, and it's very important that you didn't mention, but that all there are those historical measures and the relevance between different dimensions, how they work. For example, if you see you had those values, issues created, issues resolved without transition dimension, and it's important that some dimensions, when you add it, for example, if you will add work logs dimension as well, you also might not see historical measures, issues resolved, issues. They are related in this way.
If it happens, go to the documentation. There will be mentioned how that each specific metric works.
Yeah.
So.
And also, it is important if you, for example, do some calculations. It's more on calculation side already that eazyBI will apply any calculation on each row. For example, if you want to see how many issues of resolved are from issues created, on day level, this measure will not work because issues typically are created before on different dates and because they do not match on the same day. So you need to understand that, for example, if one issue was created months ago, then on months and resolved on the next month, you can't calculate resolved issues properly when in time dimension is used. The time dimension is very important, and therefore we suggest to check on day level any calculation you want to work properly.
Diana is also saying that this would be most common combination for troubleshooting, issue and time, to see how it works on the timeline. Time is very...
One more.
Yes?
One more advertising. So you mentioned you can go to the documentation and read about the issues. So you can also click the assistant button there.
It's on you. If it's not working now, it's on you.
And then expand the columns, and then you can expand measures there, and then you can hover and ask to explain it. And so you can click.
Let's explain transition to status.
Yeah, and so it's...
I don't use it. I don't use it. I've read documentation. I don't use it. Explain this. I'm the one who is writing, getting the input.
Yeah, but so that comes from the documentation, and so it will find the correct.
And also lead you to the documentation.
Yeah.
So the full circle goes around, but yeah, it will be easier for you to find the documentation through direct link, not just searching. It's so last century. So, any more comments from colleagues or community? But it's good. We are on time, so it's as expected. So then we are ready to do the final game for this session, and that's all. After this game, I won't talk anymore. So you're. Yeah. So you can ask me questions then, or we can make discussions, but the game is on and that's it. Let's do my last second Kahoot. Ding, 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 ding. First line. Yes. Oh, there's also a QR code with a right pin. Now I know. Easy. Hard BI. Okay. Yeah. It's nice because usually in those games I use nicknames that I wouldn't allow to use in some other environment. So now it's 33. previously was 35. Is still someone joining? A few seconds. Okay, dropped out. It's fair enough. It's been an hour with quite of hard stuff. Okay. 35. Okay. Everybody's in the room still. Oh, cool. So there will be a bit more questions, about 10, 12, something like that. True or false? eazyBI's real-time analytical tool. Those three still need to practice, but this was a repeated question. It's a stress. It's hard to put the right button, but yeah. So please let me. So yeah, mind the gap. It's for British people. It's more common to understand, but for others to mind the gap, there's no real time. The next one: how often is data updated in eazyBI? Logical. Next question. If it's not real time, how often? So every day, every 15 minutes, every hour, or regularly according to schedule? You all answered already. So it's based on schedule, and you can put your schedule on specific. Okay, the others are coming up. The response times also counts in for the points. You have to be fast. So the schedule depends on also available schedule depends on the cloud versus data center, and for the cloud there's also process events. Oh, nice! I like them. Oh, this will be instead of Instagram now for me. Okay, yeah, but the schedule is, you can specify specific times too. The next one is, which is the most trusted source to learn what predefined measures mean? Documentation, ask AI assistant, ask colleague, figure out by measure name. The most trusted source. It's a tricky question, I know. But only one answer is right. Yes, documentation, this is mine, child. This is mine. But those who answered the third one, yeah, we just demonstrated that you are going back to the documentation. So it might know, if AI doesn't hallucinate, it will know. So Hard BI is working hard, I see. Okay, let's go further. So yeah, this is documentation. It looks like this. Next one is, where can users see the last data import time? So in the source data section, in analyze section, in the dashboard, or in all mentioned options. We already practiced this, so be confident. Yes, all options. Everybody can see in every place, so it's all around place. So, okay, there's some competition. Good. So yeah, this little button up is for everyone. Next one. What should you check first when the report data are not looking as you expected? Review the calculation, check if data are imported, check report filters, or write to eazyBI support. The first and the fastest to check. Yes. Check report filters. Those are probably very advanced users who already has done all this background checking in their minds, I believe so. Yes. Okay, is data imported is the first step, and if there's no data, there's no meaning to look forward. Which dimension is the best to filter data in the sprint velocity report? I hope our discussion didn't confuse you too much. Sprint dimension, time dimension, project dimension, time and sprint together. It's also a tricky question, but let's keep it simple. No, not at all. Yes, sprint dimension. Time dimension, if you run into some troubles, write to Ilse. She will happily answer your doubts and questions. Okay. Oh, it's not changing. Okay, we have quite tough leaders. Let's go further. Yeah, this is my suggestion with sprints. True or false? Non-empty option may hide rows with values. There were two examples, yes. Might be confusing, or maybe you didn't put right, false, and wrong. But non-empty may hide, and it's usually with timeline. Please avoid it, because there might be some valid data for your chart. So next question. Report troubleshooting is based on log files, mostly lucky guess, or systematic method, or experience, like in those who start with filters. Or maybe already dissecting calculated measures. Those are using just lucky guess, probably. It's systematic method. It's very boring in that sense, yes, I understand, and we would like to see everything in log files, but in log files you won't see the reason. You will see some data, but not the reason. Experience, it helps, but not the key. Stefan is back in game. Good. Okay, it's method. This is a harder question. You have to order, drag and drop with your finger, troubleshooting steps in recommended order. This is the last slide I showed you, the one I hope you will remember. So you have to drag and drop with your finger. There's a minute for this, so. And when you have drag and drop, there's a button to submit the answer. I know, it's a elapsed time on the left side. The remaining time. 1 minute and a half. Okay. Yeah, we can finish it sooner if everybody answers. Two more people. We are waiting for 2 more people. I believe so. Okay, thank you. So there were, so the mostly had some mistakes in there. I believe it wasn't easy to drag and drop. So the first one is data. It's a couple of seconds. Then check the metric. Let's also check documentation. And then start to play with filters. And then only then calculations. Okay, what does the eazyBI audit log shows? Report executions, changes in reports and import options, data import times, or error messages. We are talking about audit log. Yes, it shows changes in eazyBI, what are done by users. Error messages are usually in log files. This is different type of log. So, runners up, okay. So this is, 3 types of information changes you can see in search and also restore from here. True or false? eazyBI team has more dogs than cats. You should know this. You should. It was covered in the first presentation. So we have cats, and one black cat even won the Oscars this year, so we are cat people in that sense. But we love all the pets, so do not worry. Next one, what do Latvians love to do in the forest? This was covered a year or 2 years ago in eazyBI community days. So it's picking mushrooms, practicing singing, sing and dance festival, dancing with the wolves, or hugging trees, hippies. Huh? All of that. How can you dance with wolves and pick the mushrooms at the same time? So yeah. So picking mushrooms is, we have our favorite mushroom places, and those usually are kind of secrets of the family, and we share them only with very close friends or after marriage. So it's not like, where can you pick mushrooms? I won't tell you. So, what wild animal has been known to stroll into Riga neighborhood, so in the city? Drunk tourist, wild boar, brown bear, not bear, giraffe. Giraffe, so yeah. It's common, foxes are common, but it is tricky. But yeah, it's wild boar. Because some time ago in Riga, they were wandering in. So we have some forests in city, so they were wandering in, and there were also some photographies I couldn't find that the squad of the boars were wandering around, and there was a cat among them, leading them in the right direction. So, but I couldn't find that photo anymore. So we are done. The third place is GB. Oliver and no hands. Please, come. Paldies. So, you did very well. I didn't fall asleep telling you all this stuff. And yes, we are done with this. If you have any questions or want me to show you something more, or we can have this questions and answers part.
I'm running. I have a question about audit log. You were showing audit log. Is it true that not all the users can access audit log, but some certain admins?
Is it true?
True or false question?
Yes.
You like it. Okay.
Only special users can access audit log. Everybody won't see it. It's available. It's available for Jira admins, not Jira admins, but I will make it smaller. It's available for eazyBI admins, so it's under the cogwheel. Not everybody will get there, and not everybody should, because you can restore something, and again, we did nothing, but something changed. So it's good to keep it under control for a certain group of people. And also regarding this cogwheel, this now, in the past, it was for cloud, it was available only for site admins. Now it's also available for particular user groups, so you can choose which Jira user group will be available to work with eazyBI with more power and see all these audit logs and do some creating accounts and other admin stuff. So this is also something new for the cloud.
Correct answer, yes.
Yes. Only special people. Then that's it. Oh no.
question about this picture we can see. You didn't explain exactly why this guideline is not straight.
Why it's so rhythmical?
Yeah.
I don't like to work on weekends, so I don't count those days in. So Monday, Friday, weekend. Monday, Friday, weekend. So this is the reason why we don't have straight guideline. If I would remove the dates that matches Saturdays, Sundays, it will be straight. You can also make straight line, but it won't be so realistic. So yeah.